Can Pakistan re-engineer the BrahMos missile or give it to the Chinese to re-engineer on their behalf because China will want to arm Pakistan as much as possible to pressurize India, etc. All that. The BrahMos missile, okay, we are assuming the missile that entered Pakistan and crashed in Pakistan was a BrahMos. It does look like it was that. So, and there is some debris that's available. Well, what you have is a missile that is completely destroyed. It's like we know, it's a supersonic missile. It travels at nearly 3 times the speed of sound. What is the speed of sound? 333 meters per second. 3 times the speed of sound is a kilometer per second. It is literally faster than a bullet. That's how fast this enormous missile flies. When it crashes somewhere, do you think you will retrieve anything that can be salvageable or will make any sense to you from a re-engineering, reverse engineering perspective? No. All you will be able to recover after the explosion, the crash, is mangled bits and pieces of metal. You cannot reverse engineer anything from that. Not the engine. You may get some traces of fuel. You may be able to determine what fuel they are using. That's what you will be able to do. The engine will be destroyed beyond recognition. The initial engine will not even be there because that's the first stage which accelerates the missile to Mach 1 and beyond. And then you have the ramjet, which takes it to Mach 3. The ramjet will be totally destroyed. Whatever electronics are within will be vaporized. So you will get nothing that you can actually use and make any sense of. And it's not like the missile uses any special materials. It's just regular steel, I believe. It's a heavy duty missile. There is no attempt to minimize the weight of the missile, which means that they would use regular steel as far as I know. So there is nothing that they can really reverse engineer. And the Chinese already have a, a certain version of a Russian missile, of the Onyx 800 missile, which was used as a template for the BrahMos. So the Chinese have a version of the older missile, which is in some ways similar to the BrahMos, or an older generation version of the BrahMos. So I don't think the Chinese would even need or want to reverse engineer it. Of course, there are certain things that they would want to learn, but they will not be able to retrieve anything of any value from the mangled wreckage of that one missile. I mean, you would not send a missile into enemy territory if there was something that they would be able to retrieve from it, right? And lots of people are saying in the comments that this was definitely a malfunction. India did not send it deliberately. Are bhai, grow up, please. You don't send a nuclear capable missile, even an unarmed supersonic missile, into enemy territory by mistake. There is a whole sequence of steps that needs to take place before a missile launches, and these missiles are very carefully guarded. It's not like some sweeper is allowed to go and press a button and the missile takes off. It doesn't happen like that. There's a whole sequence. There's a whole chain of command. Multiple people have to sign off on the launch process. Well, that's how it goes. In case you don't know, so this I do not see this as as an accidental launch, right? We can say it's an accidental launch because that's how you should make it look. You should not be, you cannot tell the world we did a deliberate launch. So that's why you call it an accidental launch. I do not see it as an accidental launch. So I don't think there is anything that the Pakistanis or the Chinese would be able to reverse engineer.